How come? Tell me why! Say it! Say it!
Okay, I'll say it. Carteret Leadership Class of 2015, most rushed class ever.
Good answer. Good answer.
Howdy! Chamber of Commerce! All right! And its program of leadership, of commitment, of excitement, and promotion of our businesses, and opportunity to move forward in this day and time. Thank you, Alan, so much. I wish Jane could have been here for that introduction. Just the other day, I was speaking in Ohio.
Yay.
And that's right, I was excited too. I wore my red jacket.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm an NC State guy like Alan is. And I felt right at home there, you know, with the national champions and that sort of thing. It was a lot of fun. Let me salute each of you. Let me salute you, Nancy. Let me salute you, Steve. Let me salute each of you from your businesses. I salute you, Kenny. And certainly when we first met and embraced, and then to follow and to say a quiet prayer when your mother passed away, it was more than just somebody else in the county. It was somebody with you, Pat. It's a relationship. A relationship. And that's what the Chamber of Commerce brings. The relationships to one another and in our businesses. Where else can you go and meet and you have the leadership of our city and the leadership of our county, those that take a little extra time to get to know you, to get to appreciate you, to get to know what the Military Affairs Committee does. The extra effort that you as chamber members provide to our community. I am so proud of you because some of you discovered that I was president of Chambers many years ago. That was back when we didn't have any money, Mike. And they got what they paid for. We started the Baldhead Men of America because we had no monies for promotion in Carteret County. None whatsoever. And when school started in Raleigh and in the West, everybody left. And that's when we got our first traffic light in Morehead City. And Diane, you would be pleased that the Mayor Bud Dixon came to the chamber and asked us to serve on a committee to select the colors for the first traffic light. And ever since then, the chamber has been held in high regard for its volunteerism, for its commitment and community activities, and for the support. I'm a proud graduate of Carteret 100. How many of y'all remember Carteret 100? That was the forerunner of leadership in Carteret. That was when we met at the chamber. And those that are in your business and those you met, just to say, hey, I'm glad I passed. Because oftentimes in life, you have 1 million opportunities that only happen one time. And take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Where you are. Keep your group together. Take Kenny up on hosting you for lunch 2 Wednesdays from now. Be a part of it. That's what makes the difference. Well, I've reached the age when I lean over to tie my shoe. I look around, see what else I can do while I'm down here, Tom. I've reached the age when I die, I want to be buried in the Walmart parking lot. I want my wife Jane to visit me 3 times a week. I've reached the age when I'm home taking a nap in the afternoon and Jane says it's dinner time. I get up and go get in the car. I know nothing's going to be cooked in my house. I gave her exactly what she asked for our 35th wedding anniversary. I put it in the oven 3 years ago. She hadn't found it yet. We just remodeled our house. put in a drive-in window for the pizza guy to drop off at supper. I've also reached the age when Jane says, "Not tonight." I thank her. And I thank you. Have a great year. And Carteret City now. And make a difference in our community for the years to come. And share what you have learned with everyone that you come in contact with, because you are the leaders. God bless you.
Coffee was just served. The only group that does not like John is the microphone and loudspeaker manufacturer. He certainly doesn't need it. Ashley Burris. Shannon Wilson Chandler. Nancy Church.
Thank you, thank you.
Kenny Collins. Patrick Keneally. Heather Edrington. Gene Foxworth. Lori Freshwater. Mitch Gay.
The gentleman who ran 4 miles before breakfast. Thank you.
Gloria Gower.
I know, I made it, right? I just wish it scared me this morning because it was dark and he ran back. I was putting my bag in the car and all of a sudden he says, "Good morning." I'm like, oh.
Alicia Hernandez.
Thank you.
Rich Johnson. Susan McNamara. Tony Montero. Cindy Messer. Mike Meyer.
Mike Meyer. Thank you. Just a that's all. Yeah, we love you anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mike was the best photographer we've ever had.
Greg Moss.
Greg Moss. Thank you. Congratulations, Greg. Congratulations. Great.
Carteret Pryor. Alize Prozzi.
Congratulations.
Lisa Rue. Doug Smith.
We find them.
Should have put that on the back of a milk carton. Abby Sutherland. Patty Stanley. Shelby Story. Alan Sullivan.
Take your way right over here. Thank you, sir.
All the way from Arkansas. Tiffany Taylor. Cole Tucker.
Oops, sorry.
Mandy Vick.
My bad. Sorry.
Sandy Watkins. Jay White. Sarah Williams.
That was the first one.
Yes, and I think as we mentioned, Mateus Lagos, who looks a whole lot like Andre Agassi, had to leave, so he has his certificate. Before we get to your class speaker, I wanted to thank my co-chair, Steve Hellisberg. We've had a good time with Steve. We make fun of him every once in a while, like 24/7. Something y'all might not know about Steve, he and his wife Jackie love to travel. They spent more than a month in Mexico a while back. They've been out west. They've been all around. Mike told me a story about one time when Steve was up in Pennsylvania. He was riding with an Amish guy in the cart, and they actually got hit by a car. And Steve got hurt pretty bad. The horse was hurt. The driver was hurt. Steve actually ended up having to sue the driver of the car to try to get some money. Of course, they had to go to court, and the guy called him up and said, Mr. Hellisberg, you told us all about your injuries, but when we looked at the accident report, the investigating officer at the scene says you weren't injured at all. What's the deal? And Steve says, well, that's easy. When the officer got to the scene, the first thing he did was looked at my friend's horse and said, looks like he has a broken leg. Pulled his gun out and shot the horse. Came to Steve, asked him how he was doing. He said, I'm fine, buddy.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
True story, right?
Well, that one that Steve actually shared this with me. He was in church a couple Sundays ago, he and Jackie, and believe it or not, now we have some religious people here. Satan actually showed up in the church to the congregation. And as you can imagine, it was a pretty eventful time. Most everyone started screaming, running up and down, hollering, just couldn't, running over each other to get out the door. Everybody was gone except Steve's wife, Jackie. And Satan walked back and said, "Don't you know who I am?" She said, "Sure." "Aren't you going to run?" She said, "No." He said, "Aren't you afraid of me?" She said, "No, sir, I've been married to your brother for 32 years." Thank you for your help.
Thank you, Ralph.
Something we do every year here at our graduation, the class picks a class speaker to reminisce and go back and tell us some good, bad, funny, and unfunny things about the year. Every year is different, even though the gist of Leadership Carteret is to introduce you to the county and hopefully help set you on a course to give back and help too. But it's always good to hear from a representative of the class as to how we did, what it was like, and just some words of wisdom. And so I'm told it was a close vote, but the boathouse carried it. And Kenny Collins is your speaker this year. So Kenny, if you'll come up and share some insight, we appreciate it.
I'm gonna start off by saying I got 2 minutes. I don't know if it's true or not, but I was told to tell everybody that we are the most rushed class, if nothing else. Carteret Leadership has been a wonderful experience. It has been a wonderful experience for me. I've been in Carteret County all my life, and there was something new I learned every single day, something I experienced new every single day. And I would just like to say thank you to the chamber and the facilitators and everybody. Y'all did a wonderful job. There's nothing wrong, nothing bad that we could say as far as the stuff that we learned in our class. So thank you for that. Other than that, I met wonderful people. I had a wonderful time. I hope everybody else did as well.
Yes.
Patrick, come to see you tomorrow morning. I need some biscuits. Other than that, I don't really have any bad things to say about Carteret Leadership Carteret, excuse me. We had lots and lots of fun. We still have one more day to go, and hopefully the Wednesday after we go to Cherry Point, we can all meet at the boathouse and have lunch together. So, because now we don't know what we're going to do on Wednesdays anymore. So like I said, thank y'all. Y'all done a wonderful job, and I'm so appreciative of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny. We've got the pleasure this afternoon as our speaker to have a good friend of mine. I think if you don't know him,